Hey up everyone, hope you're all doing well. How would Alexander Volkanovski do if he fought the top 15 of the lightweight division? And to make it make a bit more sense, from rank 15 to 11, it'll be 3-round fights only, and from rank 10 all the way to the champion, it'll be 5-round fights. And just before we get started, if you're new around here, I've already done this for Alexander Pantoja in the bantamweight division and Merab Dvalishvili in the featherweight division. So if you like that sort of content and think you want to see more of it, well, I'm going to keep on doing it until we can't do it anymore. So guys, make sure you are subscribed. So to start things off at number 15, we have Grant Dawson. And how do I think he gets on against Volkanovski? Oh yeah, I think Volkanovski absolutely dominates him. I think you'll be very deluded to think Grant Dawson beats Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski is just too well-rounded, and when it comes to the striking, Grant Dawson really isn't that good. I mean, he got knocked out by a washed Bobby Green, so yeah, that's all you kind of need to know. Volkanovski would absolutely dominate him, and I think Volkanovski will get a second-round TKO finish. At number 14, we have the Frenchman Benoit Saint-Denis, and I think, again, Volkanovski absolutely dominates Benoit Saint-Denis. Now, Benoit Saint-Denis is a big guy for 155, very muscular as well, but we've seen it before with the Renato Moicano fight. His grappling just simply isn't all there, and Volkanovski does have some decent grappling as well as his amazing striking as well. I think Volkanovski would dominate him and then get like a second or third round finish over him by ground and pound. Next up at 13, we have See You at the Top, Michael Chandler. How would this one go? Yeah, I think Volkanovski absolutely schools him, I'm going to be completely honest. Does Chandler have a puncher's chance? Well, I suppose he does, but do I think he's able to land on Volkanovski? I don't think he would do. Of course, he's quite big and stocky for 155 as well, but even so, I don't think he'll be able to trouble Volkanovski that much. And I think Volkanovski with the leg kicks and just how well-rounded he is would wallop Chandler badly. I think it'll go to a decision. I think he'll get like a 30-26. I think we're chucking a 10-8 in there. Maybe he gets a third or second round finish over him, but yeah, he'll dominate Chandler. At number 12, we have Renato Moicano, the money man himself, the guy who can't afford to lose, but is currently on a 2-fight losing skid. And how does he get up against Volkanovski? Would this turn into a 3-fight losing skid? Yes, of course it would. We all know this. Volkanovski is just too good for Moicano. That's the best way to put it. Moicano, I think he's really well-rounded. He's good, but he doesn't feel elite in any aspect. Yes, he has really good jiu-jitsu, but I just don't think there's any part of his game that could really trouble Volkanovski personally. I think Volkanovski will be able to put him out there in like the second or third round. I feel like he gets hurt quite often, Moicano, and I think Volkanovski will be able to hurt him as well. Now we get to the final third round fight, which is Rafael Fiziev at number 11 in the rankings. Now, I love Fiziev, but I'm going to be honest, Volkanovski beats him. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I do think Fiziev could catch Volkanovski here and there, especially in the striking, because Fiziev, you know, is very good when it comes to the striking, but I think when Volkanovski starts mixing everything in, that's where it really troubles Fiziev. I do fancy Fiziev having better odds, only because it's a 3-round fight. If this was 5 rounds, I'll not really give him much hope at all. I think Fiziev can take a round here, I'll be completely honest, because he starts so strongly, but ultimately I think that Volkanovski would get a decision win, a 29-28 decision win for Volkanovski. Now it gets more exciting because we get to the 5-round fights, starting off at number 10, Paddy Pimblett. And this is quite interesting in my opinion, because Paddy Pimblett, of course, he's known for his grappling more so, his striking not so much, and he is a big 155er, but I don't think he's going to beat Volkanovski. Listen, man, I think if you want to beat Volkanovski, you've got to be well-rounded. I think that's the best chance you've got. You've got to be well-rounded, and I just don't believe in Paddy's striking. Even though I do think it's improved a fair bit, I don't think it's anywhere near the level of Volkanovski. Even adding in that takedown threat, I do think Paddy could have some moments of success with the grappling, but even still, I think that Volkanovski is going to win this one. A 49-46, I'll be completely honest. I don't think he would finish Paddy unless Paddy gasses in like the 5-round fights, because cardio, Volk has great cardio. But yes, I'm going to go with a 49-46 for Volkanovski. Now we move on to number 9, which is Beneil Dariush, the guy who looks like he's 60 years old and about to go into a retirement home. But how does he fare up against Volkanovski? I'm going to be honest, I could maybe see, but I feel like Beneil's always got one of those styles that can trouble people. I still feel like his durability is just gone, man. Moicano dropped him in the last fight, and fair, Dariush did well to recover, but it was kind of saved by the bow sort of moment as well. He's got good grappling. He's got a great overhand right on him. He is a bit scrappy at times, and I do think Volkanovski could take advantage of that. Beneil would use his grappling, maybe have some moments of success here and there, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that for 5 rounds against someone like Volkanovski. I'm going to say again, like a 49-46, 50-45 in Volkanovski's favor. Now we get to number 8, which is Mateusz Gamrot. Now, how does this one play out? Oh man, you know what? With Gamrot, it's a bit different because I've just been saying, oh, you need to be very well-rounded. And Gamrot, he doesn't have the best of striking, let's be completely honest. It's how relentless he is, how good he is at scrambling and he's grappling, and how willing he is. You know, you can tag him with loads of shots. He'll still keep coming forward, which is fair play. But how does it pan out against someone like Volkanovski? I still think Volkanovski has pop in his shots. I mean, he dropped his on Makhachev in the 5th round in their fight. So I still think he has pop in his shots. I think Gamrot can cause some issues for Volkanovski, to be completely honest. Just his grappling style, the style of his grappling, again, he's very relentless. He won't stop whatsoever. I think he could cause some problems. I'm going to go with a 49-46, possibly a 48-47 in Volkanovski's favor. I just think on the feet, there's a big night and difference day between these two, and I think Volkanovski would expose him on the feet. When it comes to the grappling, that's where I see it being a lot more contested. Okay, guys, we're done with the grapplers now. Now we get to number 7, and we get to Dan Hooker, who's actually mates with Volkanovski, trained with each other plenty of times. How would this one pan out? Now, Dan Hooker, very big for the division, very lanky, very tall, has a lot of leverage, has some decent pop on his shots, some great knees as well, great durability. How would this play out? Volkanovski. Yeah, Volkanovski. I know I've just bigged up Dan Hooker, but Volkanovski's taking him to school, in my opinion, especially with mixing in the grappling. I think that's key here. I think Dan Hooker showed some good takedown defense here and there, especially against like Gamrot as well. But ultimately, I don't know, I think Volkanovski's going to mix it in a lot more. With Gamrot, you know that's what you're constantly going to do. With Volkanovski, you got to worry about the elite striking, and then you got to worry about him possibly mixing it in, possibly holding you down for a round. And his fight IQ's insane. His cardio doesn't diminish. So I've got to say Volkanovski takes like a 49-46. I think there'll be a round where Hooker maybe is able to hurt Volkanovski possibly, as he's proven in plenty of fights where he hurts people. But ultimately, I think Volkanovski is just too clever for Dan Hooker. Now we get to number 6, another juicy one, Dustin Poirier. Oh my goodness, I would love this fight. I'm going to be completely honest, because I can see where Volkanovski just chips away on the outside, chips away on the outside, chips away on the outside. Sort of similar to the Diego Lopez performance and fight, to be honest. The difference is Dustin Poirier is much better at being able to cut off the cage and track people's footwork and not let the footwork trouble him as much, in my opinion. Not only that, he throws, I think he's better on the inside, at better boxing in general compared to Diego Lopez. Also packs a punch. I feel like Volkanovski would cause a lot of headaches though with mixing in the grappling. That's another key part here. That's a good route for Volkanovski, because he's so good at mixing everything in, and he's just so high fight IQ. I think it will cause a lot of problems, but I do think Dustin will possibly be able to chin him. But if one fight was going to happen between these two, who would I put my money on? I would have to put it on Volkanovski, but I think I genuinely could see an argument for Dustin Poirier winning this one, because he has some great hands, and you know, Volkanovski's been hurt and dropped in the past by plenty of opponents, and I could definitely see Dustin Poirier being one of those opponents who joins that list of being able to hurt him or drop him as well. But I'm going to go with a 48-47 for Volkanovski. I think this would be very competitive and very close, but I do think he would get a clear 48-47 over Dustin Poirier. Next up at number 5, we have Max Holloway. Yeah, Volkanovski wins. We've already seen it 3 times. Done. At number 4, we have Justin Gaethje, and this is another fun one, man, because Justin Gaethje isn't really someone who throws combinations, but the timing on his shots are really good. Some of the counters from him are really good. Has some good boxing when he actually decides to use the jab as well. Can fight on the inside. Has great leg kicks. Very durable as well. But I think that Volkanovski beats him, I'm going to be honest. He kind of has a puncher's chance. I would actually favor someone like Dustin Poirier against Volkanovski compared to someone like Justin Gaethje. I think Justin Gaethje obviously has moments of success. I think you're quite stupid to completely count out someone like Justin Gaethje, but I do think that Volkanovski will get like a 49-46 over Justin Gaethje, and possibly even finish him in like the 5th and final round. I think he would mix it in really well. I think his striking's on a completely, utterly different level, and I think he would possibly get that finish, and if he doesn't get the finish, I could see a 49-46 decision for Volkanovski. Now it's number 3, and this is a fight I really wanted to see when Volkanovski was the featherweight champ. I mean, he's the featherweight champion now, but you know what I mean. And when Charles was in the Charles Olive era, I really wanted to see this fight, because I just couldn't work out how it would work in my brain. I couldn't possibly picture the fight. But when it actually comes to who wins this one, obviously this isn't a prime Charles. You got to keep that in mind. Also, maybe this will be a bit different. It's a current Charles, and current Charles just isn't up to scratch. I still think he's somewhat elite. I still think he's really good, but I just don't think he's at that elite level. I do think Volkanovski would beat him. I think Charles could possibly cause some issues with the size and the grappling, but ultimately I think that Charles might get a ground and pound finish in like the 4th round. I think Volkanovski will get a ground and pound finish in the 4th round. I just think he's he's too switched on. I think the striking, although Charles has good striking, I think Volks is completely on a different level. I think the leg kicks would be a problem. The jabs would be absolutely lovely from Volkanovski. And I think he'll even mix in his own grappling as well and take Charles Oliveira down. Whether it'll be for long or not, who knows. But I do think Volkanovski will be too smart for him and get a 4th round ground and pound finish over Charles Oliveira. Now we get to number 2 ranked Arman Tsarukyan. And how does this one play out for Volkanovski? Man, this is hard. This is really hard. I'm going to be completely honest with you, because I think Arman has the style to do it, but is he at that level? I don't know. I just watched a fight of him and Charles Oliveira, and I just feel like there's something missing. I feel like he's got it, but he hasn't got the it factor, if you get what I'm trying to say. He's got the right skills, he's got the right style. I just don't know if it all meshes well to be able to defeat Volkanovski. I'm going to be honest. He's got very good grappling. He's got some decent striking as well, but I feel like on defeat, Volkanovski could do a great job against him. I do actually think Arman could control Volkanovski on the ground. I think he'd have a lot of success with his grappling, to be completely honest. But I'm going to go with a very, very, very narrow decision win for Volkanovski. Now, if you said Arman Tsarukyan, I wouldn't blame you whatsoever. I can see why you would make that argument. And even a bit of me is like, why aren't you picking Arman Tsarukyan? But ultimately, I think Volkanovski, even at an older age, I still think he's really elite. I think he would get a decision win against Arman Tsarukyan. I just think he'll be able to hurt Arman Tsarukyan at moments. And when it comes to the striking, he's just way too good for Arman Tsarukyan, in my opinion. Now we get to number 1, which is Islam Makhachev. He's still in the rankings, even though he's going to move up to the welterweight division, but he's still in the lightweight rankings, so we've got to include him. How does this one play out? I mean, I am a fool if I say Volkanovski wins this. We've seen it twice. Yes, I know the first fight was razor thin. I understand. In the second fight, yes, context is necessary that Volk came in on short notice and wasn't in the best of shapes, but I've just got to go with Islam Makhachev. I just think he's so switched on. He's so well-rounded. His fight IQ is really good. He's a big guy for 155. I think he puts it all together, and I think he finishes Volkanovski again. I think regardless of what shape Volkanovski came in for that fight, I think eventually Islam Makhachev would have found that head kick no matter what, whether it would have been sooner or later, who knows. But I still think that Islam Makhachev would have got that head kick KO in this 3rd fight we're talking about right now. But I'm going to say in like the 2nd or 3rd round maybe instead. And now we get to the champion, Ilia Topuria. And how does this play out for Volkanovski? Yeah, no. He's not winning this one, boys. I'm going to be completely honest. Ilia Topuria, his boxing's too much for him. He has good grappling. He's got too much confidence. He seems even bigger and possibly more power at 155, which is even scarier to think about. But I think he sends Volkanovski's lights out in the 2nd round. I think he catches him. Similarly to how he caught him last time. I've heard people say if he had a rematch, maybe he subs Volkanovski. I don't think he subs Volkanovski, but I do think he would chin him again, in a kind of a similar position as well. Maybe not a similar position, but by a big right hand landing clean on the chin of Volkanovski. But that's it from me, guys. I only think Volkanovski would lose 2 fights in the lightweight division at the moment. But how do you guys think this will play out for Volkanovski? Who do you think will give him the hardest challenge? Who do you think would beat him? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.